Now, I want to return to a subject that I covered on my weekday show. I'm on Monday to Friday between 9 and 12, and it's the question of whether there should be a new inquiry into the Birmingham pub bombings. 21 people died on the day that the blast tore apart the mulberry bush and the tavern in the town in Birmingham city centre. Among them was 18-year-old Maxine Hambleton, her sister Julie and her brother Brian. Join me now in the studio. Julie, Brian, we've spoken before, of course, on air, and at the time we last spoke, there had just been an e-petition launched calling for a new independent inquiry. What sort of take-up? Have people responded to that?
We've been overwhelmed, actually, with reference to how many people have responded. However, not as many as we had anticipated have responded. Apparently there is an awful lot of support out there. But when it comes to people going online, it appears to be a rather lacklustre attempt on people. However, we'd just like to say thank you to you, Adrian, for inviting us back onto your show. And on the back of your first show that we were on, there's a group of people that heard us and have come forward, and they're complete strangers. We've never met them, and they are our guardian angels. They now call themselves Justice4the21, and they have set up a blog spot which is called justice4the21.com/blogspot. If you put it into any search engine, just justice is a word, the number 4, the word the, and 21 as a number, it will come up. They have a Twitter account at Justice4the21, and on any of these links you'll be able to you'll be directed to our e-petition link. And we are literally begging Birmingham people to please bring out this to sign the e-petition for us. Justice has to be served. If these mass murderers are allowed to continue to walk free, then what does that say about the future of other murderers? Imagine, if you can, your brother, sister, mother, father. I mean, it's something we don't want you to really think about, but imagine that they are mercilessly, callously murdered to the point where they're unrecognisable. And then decades later, you, as a family, suffering the grief every day, still have not had justice found for your murdered loved one. It really is traumatic every day. I mean, we haven't stopped living our lives, because Maxine wouldn't have wanted us to do that. But it is traumatic. But we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to these complete strangers who have gone around the country handing out leaflets about our petition with the e-petition link on, all the way to Glasgow, to Wigan, even at football matches. We cannot thank them enough. We will be forever indebted to these people.
And you've got, I mean, not as successful as you would have hoped, and it's great that you've been honest about that, Julie, but I think something like you've had over 1,000 people sign up to the petition so far. 1,200.
Over 1,200.
Which is from a standing start, really, isn't it?
It is. But we only have until the 30th of November to gain 100,000 signatures, which will then hopefully go to Parliament, where they will bring it to the fore in Parliament and discuss reopening an investigation. However, we really don't think this e-petition should be necessary. That the government should be fighting our corner. What on earth is the government doing to fight our corner? These were innocent people out in their own leisure time, believing to be safe, only then to be killed so brutally, and having 160 other people seriously injured and left scarred, both emotionally, physically and mentally. It has destroyed us, and people may ask, why now? Why not now? There is no time limitations on murder in this country, thankfully.
Let me bring Brian in, because Brian, that is a question, I suppose, that some people will be asking. It's 37 years. Just sit a bit closer to the mic, if you would. 37 years since the pub bombings. It's amazes me really that there has been no campaign before, and of course Julie's right to say, you know, why not now, but sort of what triggered you as a family to kind of pick up the baton and take the initiative and try and get justice for Maxine now?
Well, thank you for having us back on the show. I can't understand why anybody in government, London or local, hasn't wanted to help us get justice for the death of our sister and the other 20 other innocent souls. So many cold cases have been brought back to book, including Stephen Lawrence and the Hillsborough disaster inquiries, together with the ongoing Leveson inquiry. The Lawrence inquiry being helped by modern day DNA resources, and the Hillsborough by people power, as in the 100,000 email signatures, causing the Home Secretary Theresa May even to make a public apology to those people.
Brian, stay there if you would, and I know you're quite emotional. We'll come back to you in a moment, and to Julie as well.